Yo, what's going on, everybody? I am Rohan Lawrence, and I'm here to do my July 8th review of Raw. I gotta say, this Raw has definitely been this past Raw was actually very, very good, very entertaining. Not a lot of moments where you could say, oh, Raw's boring, and what else is on. This is their best Raw so far. I guess when you get a few bad Raws, I guess they do owe us a few good ones now and then. So let's get this review over with. Raw started with Vicky Guerrero, with a segment involving Vicky Guerrero, talking about how the ladder symbolizes how many great wrestlers in the past have used it. Shawn Michaels versus Ramon, and then she mentions Triple H because she's trying to kiss ass. She also says how the ladder signifies how she's, climbed up the success of, business in this male-oriented business. Not much to say about this segment. It was pretty strong. Didn't really mind it. She goes on and on about how no one ever helped her, no one ever told her what to do. This is interrupted by Jerry Lawler, who says that the WWE Universe will be deciding whether she passes or fails her job evaluation. The WWE Universe has an opinion. This prompts Vicky to get worried, and she tries to kiss ass at the universe. But give Vicky credit where credit is due. She does put up some phenomenal matches. One, she puts up a face-to-face with John Cena and Mark Henry, and matches involving the 7 or 6, not counting RVD, Money in the Bank participants. We've got Kane versus Christian, Randy Orton versus CM Punk for the main event later on, and their first match featured Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. Now, this match, personally, was just great. I mean, that has to personally be my favorite match. I mean, they just started off with the bang. Daniel Bryan and Sheamus was good. Gotta give the credit to Daniel Bryan, though. Sheamus is great, don't get me wrong, but Daniel Bryan was definitely just on fire so far. He's had a phenomenal week. He defeated The Shield on that SmackDown a couple weeks ago, the week before Payback. He made Randy Orton tap, and now he even managed to defeat Sheamus. It looks like the rumors are true. Maybe Daniel Bryan might be the new top guy. If he is, I don't have any complaints with that. So, definitely a great match between Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, with Daniel Bryan winning by getting the roll-up and some nice sportsmanship with a nice handshake at the end. So, great match, great sportsmanship all around. Next featured a segment with AJ and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is kind of getting, you can see, fed up with how AJ has become obsessed with, making Caitlyn miserable. He thinks she should focus on, the fact that they're going to become the new power couple running the WWE, with her as Divas Champion and him as World Heavyweight Champion. AJ says, there's nothing I won't do to make sure that you're a World Heavyweight Champion. So it's all, hearts and giggles, but you can tell tension between AJ and Dolph Ziggler is definitely rising. The next match for the evening featured Tons of Funk versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at the Shield. Now, I was kind of skeptical about this. When I first saw Tons of Funk after the commercial break, I was like, oh lord, here we go. Jobber match. But, actually, Tons of Funk were actually looking pretty damn strong. They actually looked like a team to, be worried about. It's definitely the Raw before Money in the Bank. Raw definitely were desperate. I only wish they could have these kind of quality Raws all the time. But anyway, on to the match. The match was pretty good, I gotta say. The highlights for this match include when Tensai slammed down Seth Rollins, when Seth Rollins managed that awesome kick to Sweet T's head. And last but not least, I said Leaf, my fault, I noticed that. Last but not least, Seth Rollins is tagged by his partner Roman Reigns, while Roman Reigns flies out of the ring to make sure Brodus Clay is out of commission. A spear from out of nowhere knocks out Sweet Tea for the 1, 2, 3. And the Shield are looking ready for prime time. I mean, so far so good. The Shield have had a very dominant run, and I'm looking forward to their match with the Usos. As I said in my earlier videos, and I will say it again, it's just a shame that their tag team match has to be put on the pre-show. Seriously. Pre-show? Really? Anyway, before I get angry, we have the John Cena and Mark Henry promo. Now, ordinarily, John Cena isn't exactly a very good promo talker. I'm a John Cena fan, and even I can admit, sometimes this guy, I just look at the screen and I wonder, what in the blue hell is he talking about? He's making these kind of weird juvenile jokes and stuff like that, and just doesn't fly. It's one of the reasons a lot of people can't take this guy, but I respect Cena. But Cena was on point today. When he's pushed to the limit, he can actually be a very good promo talker. Highlights of this include the different highlights of this promo was when Mark Henry said, "You have the same look as when I saw you last time. You look afraid." Where John Cena says that, you know, you better win at Money in the Bank, otherwise 17 years of your career is going to be gone. Mark Henry is like, "Oh, I don't care. You think I care about what you or any of those guys thinks?" John Cena asks, "How could you not care about what the WWE Universe thinks?" Mark Henry says, "If you were to hurt me again, I'm going to hurt you." John Cena says, "Okay then." Takes off his, does the usual stuff, takes off his shirt, his dog tags, drops the title, draws an imaginary line in the ring and says, "Cross this line and I'll whoop your ass right now." Mark Henry, in typical heel fashion, says, "No, I'm not going to fight you." And then when John Cena's back is turned, just bum rushes the hell out of him. Mark Henry goes for the offensive. Cena tries to mount some offense by trying to hit the attitude adjustment, but it's failed because he can't handle Mark Henry's weight. And it's looking like Mark Henry's in control. We'll see what happens, if anything happens on SmackDown, which I doubt. Cena's never on SmackDown. So yeah, I gotta say, pretty solid segment. John Cena's remarker about the Snickers bar thing, when Mark Henry says, "I've got a hunger that can't be satisfied," and he said, you came out here just to talk about a damn Snickers bar, grab it and shut the hell up." I thought that was pretty funny, but that's just one man's opinion. So anyway, Raw keeps on rolling on with a match featuring Chris Jericho and the new Intercontinental Champion, Curtis Axel. Now, as you guys know, Curtis Axel is set to defend his Intercontinental Championship against the awesome one himself, The Miz. Now, this match also featured The Miz on commentary, and a pretty solid match between Chris Jericho and Curtis Axel. I gotta say, like I said before, Raw was on point. Really not a lot of matches that, you know, bored me, really. There's only one match that was kind of disappointing, but we'll get on to that later. Anyway, onto this review. Like I said before, match between Chris Jericho and Curtis Axel was great. Highlights was definitely that Chris Jericho crossbody, and where Curtis Axel is sent out of the ring, where he's confronted by The Miz, where it looked like he was about to get counted out. Paul Heyman takes him like, you're gonna get disqualified. Get back in the ring. And then when Curtis Axel gets back in the ring, guess what's waiting for him? Chris Jericho with the code breaker. 1, 2, 3. Chris Jericho wins. Now I'm happy about this because Curtis Axel lost, but he still looked pretty strong. Other than that last, mess up with The Miz, he looked actually pretty damn strong. He looked like a strong Intercontinental Champion. Something Wade Barrett apparently couldn't do. But anyway, he looked strong, and this was his first loss. And I'm glad they gave it to Jericho, who, everybody beats Jericho. I love how Jericho's being an unselfish superstar, putting guys over, but, I was kind of getting worried. If everyone beats Jericho, then it doesn't become special. So I'm glad they gave Jericho this win, and he became the first person in WWE history to give Curtis Axel a loss. So, great reward for you, Jericho. Great job for being unselfish. Just thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. The next thing we had a World Heavyweight Championship promo featuring all the participants. Gonna keep it short here. Fandango comes in when everybody is in, and, well, it wasn't really that important, but I found it funny when Wade Barrett punched the hell out of him. Basically, what happened was that Team Rhodes Scholars was being interviewed by Josh Matthews, I believe. They get interrupted by the members of We the People. They get interrupted by Wade Barrett. Then Fandango comes, tries to say it's all Fandango. He's warned 3 times by Cody Rhodes, Zeb Coulter, and Wade Barrett. Still doesn't anyway, gets punched by Wade Barrett. And seeing that Wade Barrett, as hard as I am on him, as you saw earlier, was one of my favorite heels. Still is. I just didn't like his Intercontinental Championship run. Frankly, it sucked. He lost every match. It sucked. But that was a very funny promo. Let's get on. Yes. With everything good, there has to be one thing bad. Unfortunately, it features the person who a lot of people call boring, and I can see the arguments, Alberto Del Rio. Or Alberto Del Boring, if you go on Bleacher Report, and there's any articles about him. Del Rio was featured in a match with Sin Cara, and the match itself wasn't anything special, but you know who's here to show the world? Dolph Ziggler was here to show the world, because he interrupted the match and started talking about how I'll introduce you, and he basically just starts ripping on Del Rio, talk about how he's a coward, how he's this and that. Del Rio can't take it anymore. He goes out to fight Dolph Ziggler. He's about to get counted up, him by himself. This wasn't really smart by Sin Cara, although it was entertaining. That beautiful crossbody at a great angle. Great job, cameraman. You're doing something right. knocks Del Rio out, and it ends in a no contest. So this rivalry is continuing to get even hotter and hotter. I've heard recently from a lot of people that they didn't like that one, but they didn't like that promo cut between Dolph Ziggler and Alberto Del Rio that occurred on Raw. It said that it made Ziggler look more like the heel instead of the face, and vice versa with Alberto Del Rio. I thought that was interesting, but we'll just see what happens. Hopefully, maybe on SmackDown they'll do better. Next, yes, the job evaluation of Vicky Guerrero. Man, wow. Poor Vicky. I mean, like, you guys saw. I'm just here to review it for you guys again. Just here to remind you, she got fired. I'm just trying to keep this one short. One, because this was very painful, and two, I'm kind of running out of time. But if I could just do this in a short couple minutes, wow, man. This one wasn't so much about her as the growing conflict going within the McMahon family, and by that I mean Triple H and Vince McMahon. The battle of the egos, man. The battle of the egos. Vince is all for Vicky being the permanent general manager. Triple H is not, tearing Vicky a new one, giving her rude, mean insults such as she is a puppet, a spineless puppet. She's got the most annoying voice in WWE, which I can't deny. But, tensions between Vince and Triple H are boiling over, so they decide, Stephanie, you call the meeting, you handle it. Stephanie's like, we're going to let the app decide, because I don't want this to break my family. And 75-25 said, fail. And, well, with her fired, we need a new general manager. So Vince McMahon is like, you happy with you guys? You guys happy with what you did, Universe? You broke this woman's heart. You broke her heart. So I'm going to give you guys what you deserve. The new general manager of Monday Night Raw is, and I swear to God, if he had said John Laurinaitis, I would have broke my screen. He said Brad Maddox. The look on Brad Maddox's face, priceless. This led to, well, a backstage argument between Vicky and Brad, more like Vicky beating the hell out of Brad and Brad running away, and a very interesting collision between, not a collision, just a meeting between Ryback and Vicky. He says, Ryback runs into her, says, you deserve better, it's going to be okay. This could be a new angle, so let's hope they keep it. Next was match 5 between Kane and Christian. Match was okay. They're old. Christian and Kane are aging, so I don't really expect that much from them. No disrespect, of course. But the real thing, they're finally here. The Wyatt family finally showed up, and man, did they ever make an impact. As soon as the match is over, they come in creepily fashioned, and they attack Kane. Attacked him so bad that it doesn't look like Kane might be able to participate in the Money in the Bank ladder match. We'll see what happens with that, but Wyatt family made a great debut. Next up was, yes, one of my favorite part of Raw. Caitlyn and Layla versus AJ and Alicia Fox. Match itself wasn't anything special. Even with the Bellas on commentary, the match wasn't anything special. But you know what was special? Spear! Oh my god! The way Caitlyn speared AJ? Oh my goodness! It was something I replayed on my DVR at least 3 times. My god, that had kept me. AJ had that one coming. So I'm really impressed with WWE. They look like they're actually trying to care about the division, because I can't wait for this match, Money in the Bank, between those two ladies. Oh man, this is going to be great. And last but not least, the main event. Randy Orton versus the best in the world, CM Punk. What more can I say? I mean, they started off good, and they ended good. CM Punk and Randy Orton definitely had great matches. Highlights were definitely the Suicide Dive and the Power Slam for me, along with the finishing GTS by CM Punk, giving him the win over Randy Orton. But it wasn't over yet. Daniel Bryan, who earlier put on a great match, interrupts and attacks CM Punk by sending him outside, getting a ladder, and then hitting Randy Orton with that. I was kind of afraid when I first saw that, because I thought they were trying to turn him heel. If it's one thing I don't want WWE to do, is turn Daniel Bryan heel. This guy is so over as a face. The yes chants are exploding. I hope they keep him face, because if they have the plans, that they are going to have the plans to have him go against John Cena at SummerSlam, I hope they don't do that. Well, we need a heel. And Cena, we're never going to turn John Cena heel. Let's make Daniel Bryan heel. I hope they don't do that. Well, that was it. That was the July 8th version of Raw. Like I said, pretty good show. If you guys have any comments, please comment down below, like, share, and I'll see you guys on my SmackDown review. See you later, and have a good night.